Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I'm Jacqueline. Welcome to this video, this channel, this Instagram profile if you guys are watching it there. But hi, I just wanted to talk to you guys today about journaling. So it's been on my mind for quite a while. To make a video like this because journaling has helped me so much throughout the years, and so I wanted to share some tips in my process about how to journal for healing. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. So a little bit of background before I start. I've been writing since about 2nd or 3rd grade. My mom introduced me to journaling one summer, and since we didn't really do much, all we did was go to the library, pick up books, and watch movies. And so she was also like giving journals to me and my brothers and saying, I want you to write in this every day. So I was like, okay. But my brothers didn't really hold on to that. I don't think they did. But I have her to thank for showing me that. So thank you, Mom, if you're watching this. And yeah, so I started off in 2nd or 3rd grade, but it wasn't anything more than, oh, I went to the store today to get ice cream with my friends, or like at school today I played on the playground and I played Foursquare and basketball, because like kids aren't really concerned about what goes on yet. And so it wasn't until junior year and sophomore year of high school that I started to use writing to help me with my emotions. Before writing, I used to use art. And so if you go to my Instagram profile, you'll see some of my art if you were interested in that. But so yeah, so after junior and senior year and sophomore year, that's when I started writing. Oh, I also use music too. Music helps. But so during that time, I was going through a lot, and I felt like I didn't really have anyone to talk to about my problems, I was more of the person that everybody came to talk about their problems. Yeah, and that's how I made majority of my friends, I feel like. And so, yeah, so I would write in there about my problems, and I would just usually stop there, It wasn't until maybe a couple years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that I was going through some really heavy stuff. And again, I didn't have anyone to talk to because I moved away from my family, which means moving away from my friends too, to go to school. And then I was with my cousins, and then things happened, and then I ended up like feeling like I didn't really have anyone, And so that's when I started writing, because whenever I would try to vent to someone about the things going on with me, they wouldn't really know how to advise me in the best way that I wanted to be advised, They would say some like low energy or low vibrational things and recommend those things to me, like, oh, you should do this, or oh, you should do that, or oh, you should just go back, or something like that, And that's also another reason why I like journaling, is because when you go through your own problems and you advise yourself about going through your own problems, the advice you give yourself is probably going to be the most sound for you, because you know your problems best, you know what you're going through best, you know your emotions best, you know why you feel the way that you do, as long as you look for why. And so with that being said, like, let's get into the process now. So usually what I'll do is, I have like this funny thing actually. I have this funny thing that I do. When I start off, I usually date the page, and after that I like say something like, hi, how are you doing? I greet my journals. because I feel like they're kind of my friend, you know? And so after that, that's when I'll be like, oh, like today wasn't really a good day, or I'm feeling this type of way right now. And then I'll start venting, you know, how you would normally vent to a friend. The important part is, though, is that, well, what I find usually when I talk to other people about their journaling process, sorry if I keep touching my nose, by the way, my little hairs are like poking my nose and it's kind of windy outside. But what I usually find when I talk to other people about their journaling process is that they'll just write down their emotions. And that's it. You know, like, yeah, okay, if it works for you, go ahead. But at the same time, like, I personally feel like if you just jot down your emotions and you don't ask yourself why you feel the things that you do, or what happened to you to make you feel like the things that you feel are okay to feel, like, yeah, it's okay to feel, but like, sometimes if you find yourself in like patterns of like overthinking, or patterns of like always thinking the world is against you, you know, those patterns aren't really there to be kept, because in the end those patterns hurt you. And so one thing that journaling has taught me, and is still teaching me, you know, because I'm still learning, healing never ends, is that you have to ask yourself why you do certain things, whether you do them out of hurt, or whether you do them out of love, or whether you do them, like, why do you do the things that you do? That's an important part, because the things that you think lead to the things that you feel, leads you to the things that you do as a result of what you feel and think. Does that make sense? Anyways, so that leads me to my next point, is that you can also use this journaling method for like healing your inner child. Healing your inner child, meaning like going deep into like your past and seeing the things that weren't really okay that happened to you, and telling yourself, oh, it's okay to move on. Basically giving yourself closure and giving yourself permission to move on from those things that happened to you in the past. So like I said, usually I'll like vent about how I'm feeling. Sometimes things will trigger me, and then I'll reach for a pen or paper, and if I can't, I'll use my phone. I'll write down how I'm feeling, what triggered me, and then I'll ask myself why, because we have to know the why. And usually that'll take me to like a certain memory that I have in my brain. And for example, like, what's a good example that I could use? What's a common problem? People pleasing. Let's talk about people pleasing. So, recently I had like a very bad habit of people pleasing, and it frustrated me because I would always be at the short end of the stick. You know, I would always get the short end of the stick, and everyone else would benefit, but not me, you know? And I'm the one like going out and taking care of people, you know? And this caused me one day to write about how I was feeling, and then I asked myself why, and that brought me back to my childhood. And I realized that my people pleasing was because my parents kind of raised me to be like that, to always try to help people even though you're not in a good place yourself, you know, and to always be polite. Like, they basically like groomed, no, I don't want to say groomed, like they basically like trained me, let's use that, they trained me to be a good person, because if you're a good person, would you have to be forced to be a good person? But anyways, I feel like everyone has good and bad in them. It just depends on how hurt they are and how much that they let go. But anyways, So yeah, so like things like that, you know, like the triggers that you experience now are most likely tied to things that happened in the past, whether it's in your recent past with a relationship, or whether it's with your family, something that they said to you, or you know, it's the little things. It's whatever comes up to you in your mind, whatever stayed in your mind from childhood that was bad or hurtful to you. And yeah, just finding out why and telling yourself in the end that it's okay. Like, yeah, you went through it, but you don't have to keep making that a reality for yourself. You don't have to keep reacting the same way. You don't have to keep expecting the same things from different people. Also, I forgot to show you guys, but these are my journals. Like, I have, ooh, okay, they're here. Yeah, they're quite a few actually, but I have more at my mom's house. And like, sometimes when you journal, or sometimes when I journal, I open myself up to receiving like guidance about how life works. That's what I think. But I want to show you, like, sometimes I'll write down quotes that I find interesting. Sometimes I'll draw just to, like, you know, make it more interesting to look at. Oh. The guy walking dogs, bro. And, like, sometimes I'll use it for, like, I'll receive ideas and I'll title them a random thought about how the world works. Sometimes I'll change the ink color just because I could. And like, this is what I mean. Like, I'll receive like certain guidance from like things like that. And so once you open yourself up to your own emotions, you open yourself up to the universe, I feel like, because we are the universe, you know. But yeah, just wanted to share that. So yeah, I hope this helped you all. If you guys want to talk more about other things, I'm open to talking about anything, basically, as long as, like, you know, there's like a respect, you know, as usual.